Every trader begins their journey as a pilgrim, heart ablaze with ambition, eyes fixed on the distant horizon of mastery. They immerse themselves in the arcane language of markets, poring over charts with the reverence of a scholar, deciphering ancient scrolls. Strategies are forged in the crucible of late-night study, patterns memorized like sacred verses, and indicators wielded as talismans against uncertainty. In the sanctity of preparation, they conjure an image of their future self, a paragon of composure, unshaken by the market's tempests, methodically building wealth through unwavering fidelity to a meticulously crafted plan. Their system feels like a cathedral of logic, its walls impervious to the chaos beyond. They whisper to themselves, "I am different. I will not stumble like those who came before. I will be disciplined." Yet, when the market unveils its first true test, the pristine architecture of theory crumbles against the jagged reality of practice. The initial challenge is not a cataclysmic loss, but a subtle, almost imperceptible temptation. A fleeting moment that probes not their knowledge, but the very essence of their being. Before we continue, make this commitment. This channel isn't about quick fixes. It's about developing traders with mental strength and discipline. If that resonates with you, join us. Subscribe now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Stay until the end and keep progressing with us, one mindset shift at a time. This video isn't just another trading video, it's a mirror for your mindset. Like now, comment what resonates, and stay until the end. Because one idea here could change how you think and how you trade. Let's go! Imagine a trade unfolding before you, perfectly aligned with your plan. The price edges upward, offering a fragile profit. Your pulse quickens, not with triumph but with a primal unease, a tremor beneath the surface of your rationality. The market, in its vast and indifferent grandeur, dangles this small gain like a mirage, and a voice rises within, a whisper that grows into a clamor. Lock it in now, before it vanishes into the void. Your rules, etched in the calm of preparation, demand patience, urging you to let the trade breathe, to trust the process you've honed. But fear, that ancient sentinel of survival, weaves a counter-narrative. The market could turn, your profit could dissolve, and you'll be left clutching nothing but regret. This is the crucible where discipline is either forged or fractured, where the trader's soul is laid bare. Will you honor the system you built through countless hours of sacrifice, or will you surrender to the visceral pull of instinct? True discipline is not about following rules when the market is benevolent and the path is clear. It is about clinging to those rules when every fiber of your being screams for rebellion. When the market's uncertainty collides with the raw, unfiltered edges of your humanity. The market is a relentless mirror, reflecting not just your strategy, but the deepest crevices of your psyche. It knows your greed, your impatience, your desperate need to be right, not because it seeks you out with malice, but because its essence is uncertainty, a boundless ocean of probabilities that exposes your vulnerabilities with the precision of a surgeon's blade. Picture a trade teetering on the edge of your stop-loss, the candles flickering in a merciless, tantalizing dance, each movement a silent taunt that threatens defeat. You know, in the quiet chambers of your intellect, that losses are the toll of the trading journey, as inevitable as storms on an open sea. Yet, as the price grazes your stop, a visceral anger rises, not at the market, but at the prospect of admitting you were wrong. The temptation to nudge your stop-loss wider creeps in, cloaked as a rational choice. Just a few more pips, you tell yourself, to give it room to recover. But this is no mere adjustment. It is a profound test of your ability to surrender to the truth of your system. Will you accept the loss with grace, embracing it as a necessary sacrifice, or will pride and fear seduce you into betraying your own principles? Most traders don't collapse in a single apocalyptic failure. Their downfall is a slow, insidious erosion. 1,000 small surrenders to temptation, cutting winners prematurely, widening stops in desperation, or plunging into trades when patience was the wiser path. Their strategies are often sound, their charts meticulously analyzed, but their resolve is fragile, crumbling under the weight of fleeting impulses. The market's cruelty lies not in immediate retribution, but in its delayed, almost poetic justice. Break your rules, and you might escape unscathed. A widened stop might save a trade. An impulsive exit might dodge a crash. For a moment, you feel vindicated, as if your instincts outsmarted your system. But this is the market's most insidious trap. Rewarding undisciplined behavior breeds a false confidence, a dangerous illusion that rules are malleable. Each unpunished deviation teaches you that shortcuts work, that discipline can be bypassed. These fleeting victories sow the seeds of destructive habits, eroding the foundation of your consistency until your plan is little more than a relic, a forgotten vow whispered in the fervor of ambition. The market tests you not only with losses but with wins, and success can be a more treacherous adversary than failure. After a string of profitable trades, a subtle alchemy occurs. Confidence swells, but unchecked, it transmutes into arrogance, a belief that you've unlocked the market's secrets. You feel invincible, as if the market's chaos has bent to your will. You begin risking more than your plan allows, taking trades that only loosely fit your criteria, chasing the intoxicating rush of a good feeling. This is greed masquerading as mastery, a seductive illusion that feels exhilarating until it unravels. The market doesn't care if you're winning or losing. It simply waits, indifferent, for you to falter. Overconfidence is a test cloaked in euphoria, and many traders fail it, not by losing money but by losing the discipline that made them successful in the first place. A winning streak can be as destructive as a losing one, for it lulls you into believing you are immune to the market's whims, a demigod among mortals. Trading is a paradox. The more disciplined you become, the more it feels like a deliberate act of restraint, a quiet rebellion against the world's obsession with instant gratification. You take fewer trades, wait longer for setups, and resist the siren call of quick profits. You watch others chase volatile moves, their social media feeds ablaze with boasts of gains, while you sit in stillness, your charts silent as a monastery. This restraint feels unnatural, even painful, in a culture that equates action with progress and idleness with failure. Yet this discomfort is the crucible where true traders are forged. The market doesn't reward thrill seekers, it rewards those who can endure the quiet, who can stand firm while others are swept away by chaos. Trading is not a sprint across a sunlit field, but a tightrope walk over a storm-swept abyss. Each step a testament to focus, balance, and an unwavering commitment to your path. The market's volatility is the wind that shakes the rope. Your emotions, fear, greed, doubt, are the gusts that threaten to unseat you. Discipline doesn't still the wind or erase the fear. It gives you the strength to keep moving, one deliberate step at a time. Every act of discipline is a brick in the foundation of self-trust, a silent vow to the trader you aspire to become. Each time you honor your stop-loss, wait for a perfect setup, or walk away from a tempting trade, you prove to yourself that you can withstand the market's pressures. This self-trust is more valuable than any single profit, for it anchors your consistency in a world of unrelenting uncertainty. Conversely, every lapse in discipline plants a seed of doubt, a crack in the foundation of your confidence. You begin to question your judgment, hesitate in strong setups, and panic in weak ones. This spiral of self-doubt can unravel even the most promising traders, transforming them into shadows of their potential, haunted by the ghost of what could have been. Discipline is not just about protecting your capital. It is about safeguarding your psyche, ensuring you remain a trader capable of executing with clarity and conviction, even when the market tests the limits of your endurance. The hardest lesson in trading is that discipline demands embracing discomfort as a constant, almost sacred companion. It means sitting idle for hours, even days, while others revel in the fleeting glory of quick wins. It means enduring drawdowns without dismantling your system, accepting losses without chasing redemption, and resisting the urge to act when the market taunts you with half-formed opportunities. These moments of restraint are not signs of weakness but of profound, almost ascetic strength, a testament to your ability to prioritize process over impulse. The undisciplined trader flees discomfort, seeking relief in impulsive action, mistaking movement for progress. The disciplined trader leans into the unease, recognizing it as the crucible where resilience is forged, where the raw ore of ambition is refined into the steel of mastery. The market is indifferent to your emotions, your needs, your dreams. It moves as it will, a force of nature unbound by human desires, a vast and impartial arbiter of truth. This indifference can either trap you in a cycle of frustration, fighting to bend the market to your will, or liberate you to focus on the one thing you can control: your own actions. At its core, trading is a rebellion against the very instincts that define our humanity. We are wired for survival, primed to act swiftly in the face of danger, seize opportunities with reckless abandon, and avoid the pain of being wrong at all costs. But trading inverts these impulses, demanding patience in uncertainty, restraint amidst opportunity, and acceptance of inevitable losses. This unnatural demand makes discipline feel like a foreign tongue, a language learned only through relentless practice, failure, and reflection. Yet, over time, discipline transcends being a mere tool. It becomes your identity, a mantle you wear with quiet pride. At first, following rules feels like a chore, a forced act of willpower against a tide of instinct. But with repetition, it becomes a reflex, a part of who you are. You begin to feel unease when tempted to break your rules, even if the deviation promises profit. You start to value the steady rhythm of process over the fleeting thrill of wins. This transformation marks the birth of a mature trader, one who operates like a casino, unshaken by the chaos of individual outcomes, focused only on the long-term edge. The market's tests are not random. They are the sacred forge where discipline is tempered. Every temptation, whether it's the urge to chase a breakout, widen a stop, or overtrade in boredom, is a lesson in self-mastery, a call to transcend your baser impulses. Some traders spend years, even decades, cycling through the same mistakes, refusing to embrace the pain of restraint. Others learn early, enduring the discomfort of discipline, to build a foundation for lasting success. The first true test is not about finding the perfect strategy or timing the market with surgical precision. It is about whether you can govern yourself when the market stirs your deepest impulses. Can you hold your stop when the price taunts you, hovering just above the line? Can you wait in silence while others chase the cacophony of noise? Can you accept that trading is not about winning every skirmish, but about surviving the wear through unwavering fidelity to your principles? The market is a master of temptation, a shapeshifter that reveals your weaknesses with the precision of a poet. It's not just the losses that test you, but the moments of inaction, when no setup aligns with your plan. You open your charts, and the market teases you with a half-formed breakout, whispering, "What if this is the move that defines your day?" The fear of missing out gnaws at you, not just for the money but for the need to feel in control, to escape the quiet torment of waiting. Giving in to this impulse is a failure, not because the trade might lose, but because you've betrayed the sacred covenant of your process. The market tempts you after losses too, dangling the promise of redemption like a forbidden fruit. A losing, trade stings and your ego craves relief. A balm for the wound of being wrong. Suddenly, every candle looks like a chance to erase the pain, to reclaim your pride. But these are not opportunities. They are traps, testing whether you can walk away, head held high, rather than chase a fleeting mirage. The market's cruelest. Deception is its occasional reward for undisciplined behavior. You break your rules, take an impulsive trade, and sometimes it works. For a moment you feel validated, as if your instincts have outwitted your system. But beneath this fleeting triumph lies a deeper peril. You've taught your brain that rule-breaking is profitable, that discipline is optional. This sets a precedent, eroding your resolve until your plan becomes a suggestion rather than a law. The cycle begins, chasing setups, riding emotional highs, and leaning on luck. And it leads not to a single catastrophic loss, but to a slow, relentless unraveling, a death by 1,000 small surrenders to temptation. Discipline in trading is a silent war, fought in the unseen corners of your mind, far from the applause of crowds or the validation of social media. It's the internal struggle as you hover over the buy button, wrestling with whether a setup truly qualifies. It's the resolve to close your platform after a loss, resisting the siren call to win it back. It's the choice to sit out a day, a week, when nothing aligns, despite the gnawing itch for action. These invisible victories, unseen by followers, uncelebrated by peers, are the bedrock of lasting success. Each time you pass a test of temptation, you build resilience, a quiet strength that grows with every choice to honor your process. Each time you falter, you weaken the trust in your own resolve, planting seeds of doubt that bloom into hesitation, panic, and eventual collapse. Temptation is not a static foe. It evolves as you grow, a shapeshifter that adapts to your strengths and weaknesses. In the beginning, it's the lure of overtrading, chasing every flicker of price like amethyst drawn to flame. As you gain experience, it morphs into overconfidence, tempting you to risk more than your plan allows, to believe you've tamed the market's chaos. When you achieve consistency, it takes the form of boredom, urging you to break rules just to feel alive, to rekindle the thrill of the chase. At every stage, the market tailors its tests to your vulnerabilities, ensuring that discipline remains a lifelong practice, a vow renewed daily. The professional trader knows this and prepares for it, building routines, checklists, and systems to guard against their own impulses. They treat themselves like athletes in training, not competing against other traders, but against their own tendencies toward chaos, their own inner saboteurs. The market's temptations prey on the universal desires woven into the fabric of human nature. The fear of missing out, the craving for validation, the aversion to loss. Yet once you recognize these urges as mere voices, loud, insistent, but ultimately powerless, you begin to dismantle their hold. Discipline is not about silencing these voices, but about acknowledging their presence and choosing not to obey. Over time, their grip weakens, not because the temptations vanish, but because you've learned to see them for what they are. Shadows, not substance. Distractions, not directives. Trading is not a battle against the market, but a war against yourself. The market is a neutral force, a vast and indifferent cosmos, unmoved by your wins or losses, your hopes or fears. It is your mind that assigns meaning to each price movement, that feels the sting of a loss or the euphoria of a win. Every temptation is a mirror, reflecting your weaknesses back at you with unflinching clarity. To give in is to stagnate. To remain a prisoner of your impulses. To resist is to grow. To forge a stronger, more resilient self. The disciplined trader sees each test as a sacred opportunity, not to conquer the market, but to conquer themselves. They don't dread temptation. They embrace it as training, a daily ritual that sharpens the blade of their discipline. Imagine a trader who operates like a seasoned captain navigating a storm-tossed sea. The ocean cares not for their skill or their fears. It simply moves, a force of nature beyond control. Yet, the captain thrives not by commanding the waves, but by mastering their ship, steering with precision, adjusting sails, and trusting the compass of their plan. Traders who bend their rules under pressure, chasing losses, forcing trades, or abandoning their plan, capsize their own vessel. But those who remain steadfast, who treat every decision as a vow to their future self. Build a ship that can weather any storm. The market will test you in moments of solitude, when the charts tempt you at 2 a.m., when a losing week pushes you to take just one more trade. These quiet choices, made without fanfare, are the threads that weave your destiny as a trader. Discipline is not about perfection, but about persistence, a daily recommitment to the harder path. It's about recognizing that no single trade will crown you king, but a single lapse can cast you into ruin. It's about understanding that trading is not about outsmarting the market, but about outlasting your own weaknesses, about enduring the storms until you emerge stronger on the other side. When the market tests you, it's not asking whether you can predict its next move. It's asking whether you can master yourself, whether you can stand firm when the winds of fear, greed, and impatience howl. Will you let emotion write your story, or will discipline carve your path? The market is a vast, untamed ocean, its currents driven by forces beyond your grasp. You cannot command the tides, but you can steer your ship. Discipline is your compass, your rudder, your anchor in the storm. It doesn't promise calm seas or guarantee riches, but it ensures you can navigate the chaos, that you can survive to sail another day. Each time you choose discipline over impulse, you chart a course toward survival, toward the trader you aspire to become. Each time you resist temptation, you affirm your commitment to a higher calling, not just to profit, but to mastery, to the quiet, unyielding strength that transforms chaos into order. The market will always test you, but in those tests lies your greatest opportunity, not to conquer the market, but to conquer yourself. For in the end, the true legacy of a trader is not measured in pips or profits, but in the indomitable discipline that carries you through the darkest storms and into the light of mastery.